Hello. Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jessie, and this is Write the Hard Thing. Um, I am so glad to be here today. I had surgery on Monday for like a hernia that I had had in pregnancy. And so this whole week has been so hard to just take a deep breath, which is such a part of my process in general, with writing and with everything. So today I feel like I have taken the first deep breath in like 3 or 4 days. So I am really excited to just be in this place and to be able to honor that part of myself. Um, for those of you who are joining me for the first time, this is a weekly invitation to pause and to breathe and just connect to our body through writing. So it's a practice, a 10-minute like ritual that we can come back to time and time again and to just help us tell those hard stories and get some words on the page without like abandoning ourselves in the process. And so the flow today will be I'll offer you a prompt, which you can use or you can ignore. It's totally up to you. Prompts are mirrors, or they can be like just doorways and gentle entry points into your story. But it's totally your choice whether you want to use it or not. If you have another thread that is calling to you, feel free to listen. And before we write, we will do like a short grounding and just to bring our body and our nervous system into a place of safety so you can actually access like what wants to come through your writing today without just getting overwhelmed. Um, Thanks, Alan. Thank you. I appreciate you acknowledging that. Yeah, I had thought of like, oh, am I gonna have like, the right energy to hold this space? But I'm glad that I'm here because just being here, it just like lights me up and puts me in that energy that like I want to live in. So thank you. Um, but yeah, so grounding. So we're gonna start with that, and this part is really short and simple, but it's super important because I know for me, like sometimes when I'm trying to write something that I've been avoiding or just like feels really heavy, my body will like want to bolt. And I have a really hard time just staying in the chair. So maybe that's you too, or maybe you freeze or you cry or your system just gets flooded. And that's why the grounding is so important. And that's why we breathe and why we start with that. So this is somatic storytelling, and it's about listening and breathing and honoring the pace of your body. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Bianca. Happy to have you guys here. Um, and then remember today to like in all of these sessions, like you don't have to write the big thing or the scary thing or even the hard thing. Just start where you are. Like allow whatever wants to come up to come up. We bring in the breathing. So if you do go someplace heavy, or dark or kind of tricky, we have that breath to come back to. So we'll write together for 10 minutes. And then at the end, I'll guide you through another little grounding just to help you come back to yourself and back into your day, like just a nice little transition. So we are going to begin by arriving. Okay, just like by arriving into this space. So wherever you are, take a minute to just settle into your seat. Let your body land here. Feel the support beneath you. And if it feels okay, just place both feet on the floor. Let your hands rest on your thighs or your heart or just anywhere that feels comforting. And close your eyes if that feels good. Now take a slow breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw. Just let something soften. Take another breath in, this time in through your belly. Let it rise and exhale. We carry our stories in our bodies. So let's let our body lead today. One more breath in and exhale. Release. You can open your eyes. If you close them, okay. So today's prompt was inspired by the memoir chapter that I sent out today. So for those of you who don't know, I am serializing my memoir here on Substack. So every week I send out a chapter, and the memoir is about my childhood and just growing up in a meth lab with my mom in and out of prison. And this today's chapter it was a kind of a fun one, but it was about this like really like one wild, magical, chaotic moment from my childhood where my dad surprised my brother and me with a Christmas shopping spree at Toys R Us, which was just like this huge toy store. And it just felt like a dream. Like, we were laughing, grabbing toys off the shelves, hyped on sugar, just like running up and down the aisles. And it was so fun from, like, on the surface, but underneath it all was this, like, really deep ache because my mom was in prison and dad was doing just, like, everything he could to make up for the fact that she was gone and trying to distract us, just from, like, a whole person missing from our lives. So that moment held both joy and loss, and that's where we're gonna go today with this prompt, okay? So the prompt is write about a time joy was used to cover up something missing, to cover up absence, to cover loss. So think about a moment that was like meant to be fun and playful or it's even magical, but where something important was like painful or missing. So it could be like a holiday or a birthday or just like a spontaneous outing. And let the moment unfold through sensory details. So, like, was there a scent in the air? What did your body feel like? Were you buzzing, heavy, overstimulated, tender? What textures or objects stand out when you think about it? Who was there? Who was it? And just let the joy be there, let the ache be there, and just let them live side by side and just see what comes up, okay? Try not to overthink it. I cannot stress this enough. This is not about getting it right or like getting it perfect. And it's not even about making it good. It is just about getting out of our own way. And we're just trying to get some truth on the page, like the truth of our story that's still like living in us. And when I say truth, I'm only talking about your truth, your story. You don't have to let anyone else's voice in during this time, and just tell the story, tell the truth as you remember it. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my screen around so you can see the prompt, and I will let you know when you have 1 minute left. And again, the prompt is write about a time joy was used to cover up something missing, to cover absence, or to cover loss. Okay, let me turn this around. You have about 1 minute left. Finish up your last sentence or two. Okay. Ooh, yeah. See, this is why we do the grounding. I don't know where that took y'all, but I definitely went somewhere that got me kind of flooded, even with it, even with the breathing. Um, yeah, so before we get into the grounding, give yourself a minute to try to title your piece. So even if you just wrote a couple words or a sentence, um, just what would you call it? Or you could just write the feeling beneath the piece, just something that came up. It could be one word or a line from the piece. And if you want, you can drop it in the chat. I always love to see the titles. I'm kind of between two titles, but I think I'm gonna go with The Blue of Longing. So I'll type mine in here. And if anyone else wants to drop theirs in, feel free. Um, yeah, so I had a couple things come up. What I ended up writing about was about the birth of my son. So I think that is just thank you for sharing, Michelle. Scattered near tears. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you. Helen, Stolen Stars. I hope Bianca leaning into hello. These are great, y'all. After the session, if you take these pieces and kind of expand them or finish them up, I would love to see. You can drop them in the comments if it feels good, or even just send me a message. I love to read your work. Um, but yeah, so this week when I went to have my surgery from the hernia that I got in pregnancy, I didn't think, I was like, oh, it's going to be fine. But as I was like laying in the hospital bed and they're like rolling me into the OR, I was very flooded with feelings and memories of the birth and how that all went because I ended up having an emergency C-section, which was just a whole thing and had to recover from like the trauma of it all. And clearly I'm still recovering from it. Like my mind is in a place where I've processed it, but my body is still, as they say, keeping that score. Um, so I think this kind of memory was really just right on the surface for me as I went into this prompt. And yeah, I just wrote about how obviously having my son and holding him is meant to be this like special, happy, joyful moment. And it was, but there was this like immense loss over the whole thing based off everything that had happened. Um, and yeah, it's just interesting how such intense feelings can live in the same exact moment. Um, so anyways, sorry if you can hear that banging. That is my toddler probably banging on like a pot or something. Um, okay, so we're going to take a moment to just come back into the body, especially if, like me, you went somewhere that was a little heavy or draining. Um, so Let's start by sitting up tall and letting our shoulders drop. Close your eyes if that feels good. And take a slow breath in through your nose. And exhale gently out through your mouth. Let's do that one more time. Deep inhale, hold, and exhale. And we're going to rub our hands together, okay? Just until we feel some heat and some energy, somewhere to put that, like that buzziness, anything that floodedness, anything that came up, let it come into your hands. And then you can place them over your heart or your eyes, the back of your neck, wherever feels comforting. That part of the story is done for today. I am here. I am safe. You can open your eyes now. If you close them, wiggle your fingers and your toes, your hips in the chair. Just come back into your day, into this space. Yeah, okay. Thank you for showing up today, for your writing and just into this space. It was, yeah, I needed it. And I think I'm actually gonna expand this into a bigger piece that kind of interweaves with the surgery from this week. So yeah, just thank you for writing with me and being in this space with me. I will be back next week with a similar rhythm where we ground and we write and we ground. And oh, thank you, Helen. I would love to have you again. It really is, yeah, it really does like help to build the habit and, just make this a practice. And I know I always go a little over, but I do try, like the writing is 10 minutes. So if you ever have to hop off early, you can, but we should get that 10 minutes of writing in and just have that kind of center of a story you can work with, something that you can touch and come back to if it's still calling to you. So, anyways, thank you. Thank you for being here. I will see you next week.